OutRun here back again. This week we got basically an iconic racing game. This is pretty much, you ask most people, arcade racers, most people say OutRun. This is a game called in 1986, made by Yu Suzuki. It was part of the Sega Superscaler games. Pretty much they were really nice looking arcade games for the time. This is just over 30 years old now, and apparently this is the 30th anniversary this weekend of the world release of this game, not the Japanese release, because that came out in the June. So this game is really cool. This is the Saturn version of this game. I'll show you a few things the Saturn's got, which make this game pretty much arcade perfect and better than the arcade in some ways. I've put it on super easy, just so I can show you some of the levels, because I'm not particularly that great at OutRun, because I haven't played it much lately. What you can do is you can change the difficulty of the enemy cars. You can have manual automatic gears. You can have the original Japanese course selection. Difference is it's a slightly different rearrangement of the courses for the overseas version, and most of us from Europe or America will probably remember the overseas version, to be honest. I don't think I've ever seen the Japanese version in the arcades. It also came with, so basically you got Japan and overseas, so I'm going to play overseas. It also came with arranged and arcade music. The arranged music is not bad, but I prefer the arcade music. And there's a sound test for all the tracks, which is pretty cool, so you can just play them. So what we'll do, we'll start this up. So I remember as a kid seeing this arcade and really big sort of car cabinet to add on it, and the same as Space Harrier, that had a big cabinet. There was a stand-up version of this game in the arcades as well. But if, say, back in the day, 30 years ago, you've seen this in the arcade, and this is some really impressive stuff. There was nothing on home computers or consoles at the time that even come anywhere near close to the arcade version of this. I say pretty much it is a driving game, not a racing game. Yu Suzuki himself said this is a driving game. Reason for that being is the fact you're not actually racing against it, you're actually racing against the clock. So you're driving in this game, you're not actually racing anyone. So if anyone says OutRun is a racing game, tell them that they're actually wrong, because Yu Suzuki is the guy who pretty much made this game, and he describes it as a driving game. I say, so the goal is basically to complete the levels as fast as possible up against the clock, obviously dodge all the cars and everything, get to the checkpoints, and get to the end of the set of races. Depending on which way you actually go, it depends on what course you get. I say going left generally is easier. Going right, the courses get harder. As you can see, like, it's got some really nice, it's got hills and everything in this game, you know, you've got lots of stuff scrolling over the top of the screen, which is really nice. Ooh. Got to remember to change down the gear as well when you crash. Ah. See, the music in this game as well is so recognisable. Only 3 music tracks, but they are 3 fantastic music tracks. Oh, damn it.
Checkpoint.
That was close. Do do do. Do do do. We're saying this game was converted to just about everything back in the days. Consoles, computers, they all had a version of OutRun. saying you can get quite an addictive little game as well. Trying to see all the levels on this game and get through it. Ooh. Oh, VW Beetle there. I say nowadays, unfortunately, they did sequels to this, and but Sega hasn't got the Ferrari license anymore, unfortunately. So if they ever do make a sequel to this game, they can't use the Ferrari anymore. Which is a shame, because iconically, this you're playing in a red Ferrari. It just doesn't seem the same without it. Right then, so what I'll do now is we'll switch to the Japanese course. So you get to put your name in at the end. So this game spawned so many racing games. It was such a massive success this game was in the arcades. And it's still well loved to this day. So we'll let's have a splash wave. Right then, here we go. I say this is the Japanese layout. This is a slightly different layout to the overseas one, which is what we're used to. I say there is a PC remake of this game as well called Cannonball, so if you search on Google for Cannonball OutRun, you'll come across it. It uses the arcade ROMs. But what they've done is they've given the game slightly better graphics, made it look really nice. You can run the game in 60 frames a second, because this actually is a 30 frames a second arcade game, not a 60. Oh, another crash. Obviously. Yeah, and you can up the graphics, and they actually converted it to widescreen, and it looks really nice. The only thing I'd say about it is, though, I got my 360 controller set up on it, but it doesn't seem to be as... doesn't seem to play quite as good, I don't think. I'm not sure if the controls are a little bit laggy on it, but it may just be me, I don't know. But check it out, just... You can download the main ROM for this and get that version free, chuck it in, and play it on your PC. See, we got a different course this time. Perfect driving music, I tell you. It is a really cool soundtrack. What's cool is every now and then you go to an arcade somewhere and you'll see an arcade version of this, usually a stand-up version. Arcade Club in Manchester, he's got this there. I think he's got even... I'm sure I was playing on a stand-up version when I was there, but I'm pretty sure he's got a sit-down version as well. I'm gonna make it. Should have gone to the right actually, shouldn't I? Oh well. Ooh. Come on, go on the road. Oh, don't want to go up the arse end of a lorry. Don't think I'm gonna make it. Nope, not gonna make it. Oh, definitely not gonna make it when I do that. Ah. As you can see, there are different ways to go, the different tracks, different areas. It's just doing your crap, isn't it? Right, guys. So what we'll do now, we'll have a go with the 60 frames a second mode. Right, guys, that's back with the arranged music mode and the smooth mode. So this is the 60 frames a second mode of the arcade. So this is a Saturn only mode. So let's do magical sound show it again. Hopefully this is going to pick it up on my scale. It looks a lot smoother already. It feels a little bit different playing as well, this mode. I suppose those extra frames making the controls a little bit different. So hopefully you can see it, how much smoother this game actually is. Those extra 30 frames a second make a difference. This is what that PC Cannonball game is like. But I say you can have widescreen mode on that as well, which is quite nice. He crashed into the back of him then.
Checkpoint.
I was sneaky with that car then. So you can really hum along to the music on this game. I still prefer the original music tracks. Ah, knocked me off then. Don't know whether I'm going to get to the next course. I may do. With a bit of luck. Oh no!
Checkpoint.
Oh, how lucky was that? Oh, don't want to go off the side road. I say the remix music on OutRun 2 is really nice, and there's a track on there called Shiny World, which is pretty awesome. And Turbo OutRun does have some new music as well, and I can't remember the name, but one of the tracks on that is pretty awesome. Oh. I'm definitely not going to have enough time to get to the next track. Oh well, guys. Well, I say that's the iconic racing game OutRun. I say this is the Saturn version. Quite nice with the Saturn version. You've got that 60 frames a second mode, and you've got the rearranged music. As much as I still prefer the original music tracks, to be honest. Yeah, what can I say about OutRun? Absolute classic. 30 years on, people still remember OutRun as a classic arcade racing game. Probably everyone played as a kid, or it was my age anyway, who played a kid on the home consoles or computers of the day. yeah, really cool game, and you know, obviously OutRun doesn't stand up to modern racing games because it's like 30 years old, isn't it? But for the classic, it actually is OutRun. I've got to give it 9 out of 10, just because it is a classic arcade racing game that I do fondly remember playing back in the day in the arcades, especially the sit-down version. I was quite lucky as well. One of my friends used to own an OutRun cab as well, which was quite cool. So I did used to get to play quite a bit on there. It wasn't a sit-down one; it was a stand-up cab, but yeah, still pretty cool. But yeah, really cool game. Say if you've got a Sega Saturn, you like the old Sega Super Scaler games, pick yourself up this game. Pick yourself up Afterburner, because that's a fantastic conversion as well, and Space Aviators as well. All three of those games are amazing to pick up. I say, just before I go, one more note is I would say that this probably is the best home conversion of it, but there is one other home conversion which is pretty fantastic, and that is on the 3DS. M2, which is one of Sega's in-house programming teams, who are pretty amazing at doing emulation. They did the 3DS version of this game, and it is pretty fantastic. It's pretty much arcade perfect with some extras, and in fact you can play the game in 3D, and it does surprisingly look pretty awesome in 3D. So I would probably say that this and that version are probably the best home versions you can get. So if you've got a Sega Saturn, pick yourself up this game. If not, and you own a 3DS, go on the store and pick yourself up the 3DS version. I don't think it goes so much. I think it's something like £4 odd standard price, but it tends to be on offer quite a lot for about £2.50. And if you like OutRun, can't fault it. So anyway, guys, I'll catch you in the next review. Bye now.